In celebration of Women's History Month, the North Jersey Blues Society is honoring the contributions of female blues artists and industry professionals. Today we have Kaati Gaffney. She is the owner of RBA Publishing, which is a media house who specializes in both blues and reggae genres. She's also a birth hula, as well as a mother, grandmother, and aunt. Welcome, Kaati.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I was wanting to show you where I am right now. If you could look out the window, I don't know if you can see it. The Pacific Ocean is right out there.
Very nice. I would show you our snow, but I don't think you want to see snow.
So I'm up here in Northern California, way up above San Francisco. And you had told me you were going to ask me a few questions. One of them was, who influenced me? So I've been a business owner since 1995, whatever that math is, 31 years or something. And I wasn't influenced by a woman to get into business, but my two main influences in my life were women that I knew in my life. And they taught me how to be passionate about your work so it doesn't feel like work, and to use your voice to be heard, and that everything is everything. Work isn't here and your life is over here, that you bring your best self to whatever you're doing. It's all seamless. And so yeah, I was very influenced by Louise Clark and Marguerite Gaffney. And so one of my passions years ago is I was in the publishing business because my family had a publishing company. Okay. And so I learned the ins and outs of publishing a magazine. We had several magazines, which is a dying art. It's very, very, very different now. But I learned all the ins and outs of it. And I was working in an office, and then I'd go to these festivals on the weekend, and I'd have to run back home Sunday night because I had to be sitting at my desk at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning. And it used to infuriate me. Like, how could I make this work? So years ago, I started a guide for reggae festivals. My boyfriend and I at the time were doing a lot of reggae, and it started out as a little 12-page magazine for Northern California, and then it expanded over the years. For 25 years, it was the oldest and largest reggae magazine in the United States. And I brought my publishing skills to it to make it successful. And at some point along the way, I quit that office job, which I told you it was my family's business, so they weren't stoked on that. But I wanted to stay at the festivals longer. And then somewhere along the way, a friend of mine said, I wish we had this type of comprehensive information for blues festivals. And I loved blues. I knew a little bit about blues, but not an expert. Still am not an expert. But I had a business partner who is a blues expert, and she still consults with me today. And anyway, we did a little research and started the Blues Festival Guide magazine. Then these other components support it. Our website, bluesfestivalguide.com, our weekly newsletter, so you can see what's happening, each week, who's on tour, who has a new release, so forth. And it was funny. So before the first issue, we had a mock-up of a magazine cover. We went to Memphis to the International Blues Challenge and kind of walked up and down the street and talked to bands like, would you advertise with us? Here's what our rates are, and just kind of had this idea. And just by, serendipitous fortune that year, sorry about the noise. I have a guy running up and down the stairs, and we have no, it's okay. We have a B&B here. We're doing some work. It was the Year of the Blues. It was 2003, which the government had ordained the Year of the Blues. It happened at the same time, and the people from the Year of the Blues joined forces with us, and we became the publication for the Year of the Blues. And so we've been going strong ever since. So to answer your question about influence, Nancy was my first influence, and I immediately connected with Michelle Lundeen and Cheryl O'Grady from the Reno Blues Society. They're the blues experts, and my ears were wide open, like, teach me about this, and how do we make this work, and how do we appeal to people, and so forth. And yeah, so
Excellent.
one of my tips, I guess, for younger women is surround yourself with people who know more than you do.
Smart advice. What about challenges? Have you faced any challenges as a woman in the industry, and how have you overcome it?
I was thinking about that question too. So my dad was my boss. He was also my dad, years ago. And I have 4 sisters. So there's 5 women in our family and a really strong mom. And my parents, especially my dad, kind of exalted women. Like my mom was really smart. He made no business decisions unless he sat down and laid it out and got her input. So I never kind of really had that where women weren't listened to. I don't really feel like I've ever had that in my life, or maybe I'm just oblivious. And I think everyone's as wonderful as my dad, but I kind of don't feel like that.
Good. That's great.
And if I did, like if I felt like slighted or not included or whatever, I think it's because I would take responsibility. I didn't make the effort or go to the meetings or join on the board of directors or whatever the thing was.
Right.
Yeah. So I feel empowered like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what advice would you give your younger self?
Oh, yeah. So to gain skills as you go along, which I did to a point. But here we are, 2026, and the whole, it's not even music related. It's just like the nuts and bolts of, running a blues society. It's like search engine optimization in your back room and working a cPanel so you don't have to hire a webmaster and stuff like that. Like, I wish that I had kept up with the technology more, because I know what I want. I know that things have to be done fast and so forth. So I was like, oh gosh, why didn't I learn that along the way? I do have a lot of skills, and then I would teach people that work for me, like how to do something. We use like kind of sophisticated software in our company. And I asked somebody, how do you do that? And they go, you taught me. I go, but that was like 3 years ago. I don't know how to do it now. But I'm busy kind of looking at the big picture, and there's all this little detailed stuff because our website has very detailed festival information and a lot of details. So yeah, to keep on learning, classes, do YouTube studies, keep learning so you're expanding. See, your world doesn't get small.
Okay. In closing, are there any upcoming projects you'd care to share with anybody on
yeah. So let's see. Well, this time of year, so it's February right now, end of February. And so we feel like it's starting to come on festival season. So it gets really exciting. All the promoters are posting their festivals. They know their dates. Some of them know their lineup. And so, and then more and more traffic comes to our website. And it's exciting. And so some of the festivals that we're working with specifically are, well, one's popping into my head right off the bat, is Tampa Bay Blues Festival.
Yeah.
And it's their 30th year. And they have been gung-ho advertising since like before Thanksgiving, and they have relied on us a lot. We push it all across all of our channels, and their lineup is insane. Like, I can't even, yeah. So everybody, of course, wants to go to that festival, everyone that works with me. And so we've got a contingency going there to take photos and report and so forth. And that one. And then we're also working on lining up the blues cruises, Legendary Rhythm and Blues Cruise, the Big Easy, Sandy Beaches Cruise. I think those 3 right now, and that's exciting too. They do their lineups way in advance, and it's exciting to work on events where it's kind of all built. Sometimes people they don't know their lineup yet, or they can't announce it. So
Right.
it's this kind of concept. Yeah, so we've been doing that. Oh, and then the other fun project that we're working on is the Blues Festival Guide offers advertising packages to the IBC winners. IBC is the International Blues Challenge, and it was in January. And there's a list of winners: band, solo duo, first place, second place, third place, and best guitar player, and a couple others. And we give these big advertising packages. So these bands are like, what? We get to advertise? Like, what do we do? So we're kind of hand holding them, and hopefully we do a really good job for them, and they'll become, long-term customers of ours.
That's great.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really fun because
It's exciting.
they poured their heart and soul into getting to Memphis, and yay, they won. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I greatly appreciate it.
I appreciate you reaching out to me.
Does a one decide?